YouTube channel and podcast. I am your host this evening, Chris Matthews, and this is Season 1, Episode 2. This episode is titled Love Yourself. It's a great title, very motivating and inspirational. Before we get into this episode, I just want to thank everyone for your likes on the social media platforms and the subscriptions. I also want to let you know that the UMP is doing a $10, $20, $30, $40, and $50 giveaway to those particular followers for the Facebook fan page. Be our 10th follower, and you will win $10 personally from me to you. I use Zelle, Cash App, and Messenger. So whichever one of those you have, I will personally send you that amount for whichever follower you are. So you're that 50th follower, I will send you $50 personally. I am live via Facebook right now. So to all of my Facebook followers and friends and people that are new, thank you for tuning in and listening. Right now, it is Sunday evening, but this is Monday's episode for September 23rd, 2019. Also, I'd like to give a special happy birthday shout out to my father, Dwayne Matthews. He's 21 years old, brand new house, brand new recording studio, and 1 year in retirement already. Life must be amazing. I hope that all is well your way, Pops, and I pray that you enjoy every minute of it. Now, looking for ways to contact us over at the UMP, give us a call or a text at our new number. It's going to be 702-425-3319. Again, that number is 702-425-3319, and the email address is still the same at TheUMP2019@gmail.com. You can also send us a message via Facebook at our fan page, and someone will get back to you shortly. One last mention before we begin, we will also start uploading our shows via SoundCloud as well. So I will also let you know all of that info. Should probably be, I want to say, by next episode, episode 3. If not by episode 3, it will definitely be episode 4. So getting right over into the topic of discussion, loving yourself. It's a lot of people that I've been talking with, new people that I've been talking with on job sites or just out in public about learning how to love yourself. You know, we get to talking, general conversation, things like that, and people start kind of sharing their lives. I've been told that I was a type of person that was very charismatic and easy to talk to. I'm very easygoing to talk to, make people comfortable, and I really do appreciate that. So I'd like to just talk about loving yourself as far as just in a whole. And if you have children, you know, you kind of want to watch who you bring into your child's life. You know, I've been in situations like that before. I've seen these situations personally, and you want to kind of better that. So that's what I'm here for. I'm here to inspire you and motivate you to learn to love yourself. So first thing everybody must realize is everybody has a truth that they need to live and that they need to share. It's best to kind of repeat to yourself, I love myself. A lot of people don't say that out loud. They may say it to themselves on the inside, and they may mention that they love themselves when they're in conversation with somebody, when they're talking about love. But, it's the thing that we need to say more often than we do. And loving yourself, it depends on a lot of things that I want to try to get into. I want to make this one a little bit brief. I don't want to be too long on it. This right here is a very, again, sensitive subject to myself. So a couple of notes. I have some notes that I've written down as far as this. Let me get right into it. Give me one moment here. Mental loop. Okay. That's the first step. A thought loop. It's a pathway laid down by constant use. With enough time and intensity, if you repeat it again and again, you start to create a mental loop river that controls you. You believe it is automatic and the reality you live in, but reality is just a mental loop you have repeated too many times. Example, I have this one girl that I've been talking to. I just recently started talking to her, actually, and she was telling me about her boyfriend, and she was calling him her fiance or husband. So that's what I thought it was in the beginning. But when she gave me the story, she mentioned the situation that had happened, talking about her daughter. And her she's young. She's a young girl. And in the process of talking about the situation that was going on, I asked her, so he was calling your daughter this foul name, and he didn't realize who had did the action as to why he was calling someone out of their name. But the fact is this: it's you, your girlfriend, and her daughter in the house. You're calling somebody this foul name, whether it's the daughter or whether it's the mother. That's the first thing that's not right at all. So she was giving me examples, and I came back and I told her, I said, you know what? If a man talks to you that way, he doesn't love you. And if you allow a man to talk to you that way, then you don't love yourself. So she started mentioning to me that she does love herself. And later on down the road, I was talking to her and I was trying to show her that, no, you really don't love yourself when you allow people to talk to you this certain type of way and treat you a certain type of way. And what she said was, I'm trying to make a sacrifice. Well, she made a sacrifice. She's in the process of sacrificing for her daughter, because if she leaves, she has nowhere to be, and she doesn't want her daughter to be out on the streets. Right then and there, I told her that I totally understand. You're making a sacrifice. And she was like, right. So I get that. There are sacrifices that I've had to make. Me and my wife, we're still newly married. We're still in that young process, and there's been a lot of, altercations, and because we're trying to learn each other, we're trying to feel each other out and learn each other. So, my daughter has been in the midst of these things, and it's not good for the child to be in the midst of these things. So in the process of trying to work that out, this all comes into play with learning how to love yourself. I told her, love has no opposite. And that's what I learned in Eckhart Tolle's book when we were talking about the power of now. it mentioned that love has no opposite. So if anybody is treating you a way outside of love, they do not love you. I myself personally have been working on the way that I talk to my wife, the way that I handle situations. And she's been working on that same thing too, because we have to grow and become better. And we're showing this in front of our child. And so this is the things that our child is picking up on. And we don't want her to grow up not loving other people and not loving herself. So these mental loops that we create in our mind are these situations that happen to us, that we allow to happen to us. You keep allowing certain people to come into your life and speak to you a certain type of way, treat you a certain type of way, that mental loop is going to keep playing over and over in your mind, and you're going to start believing this reality that you believe in. I mean, this reality that you live in. And that's like a very traumatic experience. You know, people that get abused and molested, and they just allow these things to keep happening to them. You have to understand that you can reverse this process. You can create your own focused mental loops. The first thing to do is just keep repeating to yourself, I love myself, again and again and again. Lay that pathway down for that loop to run over and over, and eventually it'll take hold of you, whether you believe it or not. It's just like these affirmations that I'd encourage you all to listen to. We listen to them ourselves, and it makes you feel so much better. You know, you can play them while you're sleeping. You can play them during the day. Just whenever you have the time to. It's a great motivational meditation skill. Something that you should really look into. But you have to tell yourself over and over and over again that I love myself. And when you do that, like I said, whether you believe it or not, it's going to make you feel so much better, because you're forcing your mind, or you're changing your subconscious mind to set that life up for you. If you don't do that, if you don't tell yourself that you love yourself every day, you're going to let all of these things filter inside of your mind that's so negative. And that's why, you know, we go through what we go through every day. And it's so many conversations to have with these people that talk about how much they hate themselves. They want to kill themselves, things like that. So that's what you got to do. Realize, again, we're making mental loops in our mind. So you need to, and this totally ties in with the power of now. Stepping outside of yourself, taking a look at yourself in a non-judgmental way, and realizing that I need to change mental loops in my life. And this mental loop that I need to replace is negative. I need to replace that with positive. And like I said, start telling yourself that you love yourself. You need to create a groove that is deeper than those unhappy and unhelpful grooves you've laid down over the years. Again, in these relationships, I was telling this girl, this friend of mine, you need to get away from that relationship as much as possible. She told me, I know what I want to do. I want to work during the day, go to school at night, and I want to get my degree. I told her to do it. The time is now, you know. And like I said, if I haven't invested myself, if I haven't invested time within myself and all of these books that I was reading, I wouldn't be able to tell her these things. You know, I could tell her some things that I know from experience that I've been through, sure. But it helps to have these books to learn more knowledge, and then you can apply that knowledge, you know. So I told her time is now to go ahead and do that. Just start planning for it. You know, as long as you're there, you're really going to kind of hinder yourself. So while you are there and you're trying to make a play to get away from all this negativity from where you're at, make sure that you're truly doing that and that you stick with it, because the things that are going on within your home with this guy, it's not good enough for your daughter. It's not right for you to be indulging in this and to have your daughter indulging in these things. So, second step, meditation. Try to listen to 7 minutes of some music that's peaceful to you, something that you truly like, where you can kind of get your mind away from everything in life. Soundscapes, so you can meditate, close your eyes, and just vision where it is that you truly want to be. Telling yourself still, I love myself. If you can do that for 7 minutes, just 7 minutes out of the day, or multiple times out of the day, then again, your life would be so much better. A pattern that you can do, you can inhale, think, I love myself, exhale, and let out whatever thoughts that you have. Do it again. Inhale, think that I love myself, exhale, and let out whatever thoughts that you have. Number 3, question. If I love myself truly and deeply, would I let myself experience this? And when you think about that, the answer will always be no. If I truly love myself, would I let this man degrade me? If I truly love myself, would I let this man degrade my daughter? If I truly love myself, will I let this man or this woman, because it happens with guys too, it's not just the woman, but would I let these people abuse me mentally, physically, emotionally? And the answer is no. Everybody knows that that's no. This question gently shifts your focus from whatever you are to self-love. Whatever you feel that you are, when you ask yourself that, and people realize that you do have to apply this. If you do not apply it, nothing works. Nothing's going to happen, and you're going to find yourself always in that same rut. Like, what's going on? Why isn't this working? People, we have to learn to apply these things. I was that same type of person that would read up on things, but I would never apply it. So I found myself in that same rut. And I had to realize, Christian, you are not going to get any better if you do not apply it. So always remember that, guys. All this information that I'm giving you, all this information that you pick up from any other podcaster or any other motivational speaker or life coach, make sure you apply these things. It's always good to do that. Can you say I'm in love and have it simply be with yourself? Of course you can. If you love yourself, you naturally shine. You get a spring in your step and your smile comes out, So always think to yourself, I'm in love, and let it be with yourself. Because this is the thing. I don't want you all to feel like you're conceited or you have the big head about yourself. That's not the point here. The point is, you tell other people that you love them. You tell your partner, your spouse, your boyfriend or girlfriend that you're in love with them. But how are you able to be in love with them? The only way that you're able to be in love with someone else is because you're in love with yourself first. And when things happen, you may not know. You may not know that this person is like this because, everybody puts their best foot forward before they actually figure out who I'm really dealing with. And that's just human nature. We all do that. Not to say that we're, purposely trying to hide something from ourselves, but that's just how we are as human beings. But let me tell you this. You truly get, and I stress this so much, if you truly get in tune with yourself and in tune with your energy and learn to love yourself, you're going to know what to attract, what not to attract. Your spiritual self is going to tell you, leave that person alone, or give this person a chance, or let you know who's the one that's for you. But yes, learn to be in love with yourself. Learn to take time out, and that's why I say I'm giving you these steps on asking yourself, if you loved yourself, would you allow these things to happen? Meditate. Inhale, exhale, Do these steps, listen to the music for 7 minutes a day to just, listen to these soundscapes to get yourself away and just think love to yourself. A beautiful irony is fall in love with yourself and naturally express yourself, and the world will beat a path to your door and fall in love with you. It's so true. And the reason why that happens is because, like I've said again before, the world is your canvas. It's a blank canvas, and your outlook on life, that's what you're going to see. That's what you portray. So you feel like you hate yourself, you're going to see nothing but hatred in the world. This stuff is very simplistic. It's not hard. It's not rocket science at all. So that's why we can just get in here, dive deep, eat good on this, and just move right along. The more you think about it, the more you feel it, the stronger the memory is. The more you recall something, the more it strengthens you. The emotions you focus on are the same. The more you focus on negative aspects of your memory, the more they take control of you. The more you focus on positive thoughts and loving yourself, the more they take control of you. So, like I said, it's 1 + 1 = 2. It's that simple. More of what we fear is not useful and it's not real. When fear arises, your job is to remind yourself of this. Not useful, not real, and continue on. Just like when you see movies, I've explained this so many times. You see a movie and you always see something in the beginning of the movie. You fear something, you run from it. Near the end, when it's come time to end the movie, that same thing happens again. And this time it's like, I'm going to stand here and I can close my eyes and say to myself, it's not real, it's not real, it's not real. And what that thing that's not real, it ends up having to, comply that, no, I'm not real. But I was just using your fears because you allowed me to. So again, all of these fears, when they arise, keep reminding yourself, not useful, not real, continue on. Don't let yourself coast when things are going great. It's easy to wish for your health when you're sick, but you need to be just as vigilant when things are going great. And that's everybody's downfall. That's been my downfall numerous times. And I'm learning to keep that inside of my head and, focus in on that, act on that, being present in the now, always be vigilant about that. If you love yourself truly and deeply, you'll commit to the practice. You won't get lazy when things are going well. And that's one thing that a lot of people do. We never should get lazy. We should not be lazy just because things are going great, or kind of like a relationship. You feel like you just hopped into this relationship and you're going through the euphoria stage. That's exactly what happens. You know what I'm saying? And that's where we get comfortable on both ends. We get comfortable, and we're so comfortable that we're unconscious and blind to seeing that euphoria end. And it's like, okay, I'm going back to my normal self. He's going back to his normal self, or she's going back to her normal self. And next thing you know, it's like, what's going on? And you got so much hatred flying back and forth, So you all need to keep that in mind. It's always about staying vigilant. You're at work and the boss is gone. No, don't slack. Don't get lazy. You keep on going, because you really never know who is watching you. And it's all about integrity. You know what I'm saying? So it's about integrity when it comes to things like that. But like I said, if you truly love yourself deeply, you'll commit to that practice of always staying vigilant and, not slacking and not getting lazy. Loving yourself is like putting your oxygen mask on before helping the next person to you. Loving yourself often, it softens your ego. Fear hardens your ego. It's easier to be helpful and kind when you love yourself. So the more that people do love you, you have to get better with that. It's when I talked about the ego, there was a lot of things that me and my wife went through ourselves When she told me, she stressed to me how she was like, I had to swallow my ego. And she said it was so hard. It literally felt like she literally felt something in her throat, you know? So when I told her, when you swallow that ego, it makes you feel so much better in the end. It's hard. It's a very hard thing to do, but it softens you. You know, it makes you, as a wife, it makes you more submissive, the woman that you should be. It makes the man more loving toward his wife, you know, and that's what I'm in the process of working on. So for you guys out there in relationships that have spouses, swallow that ego, you know, let that ego go. Women, let your ego go. Get away from all these things that keep you in that hard spot. You know, like I said, fear hardens the ego, and it's helpful to just let it go. And you, when you love yourself, you cannot love anyone else if you do not love yourself. Another friend of mine, I always tell her, look, leave these guys alone. Stop just diving headfirst into all of these guys that you're dealing with. You need to love yourself first, because one of these guys could be the right guy for you, could be the man for you, could be your actual husband, you know. But when you don't love yourself, you won't be able to see that this man really loves you. And that's been her problem. A lot of these guys, even though they weren't the ones for her, they try to show the love that they had for her, but she couldn't see it right, you know, because she didn't love herself. So another thing, instead of reading loads of self-help books, we should focus on the one thing, put all our energy toward that, and place a bet on one thing. That one thing is to love yourself. I mean, it's good to read self-help books, but don't overload yourself with it. You know, take one thing and focus on that, you know, and when you focus on that, which is loving yourself, you do that, then life for you will be so much better. The one key that makes all of this works is this: you have to make a vow, just like when you marry and you're under God. Make the commitment to make it on paper. Write it down. I've said that so many times. Don't put it down in your phone or on the computer. Get a pen, an old-fashioned notebook, and write that puppy down. You know, make the vow to yourself to live your truth. Write down whatever it is that speaks to you. The words don't matter. Just make sure it comes from you and it's in your own words. And that's how all of the magic will happen. And once you do that and you make that vow and commit to it, I promise you all, life will be so much better. It's too much. It's too much negativity out here. And the reason that it's so much negativity out here is because of all of that we're going through. And we don't have enough people out here we don't have enough people that are listening to people like myself and like Eckhart Tolle and all of these other motivators, Eric Thomas, and just so many other people that are trying to teach you how to love yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, if you love yourself, life would be so much better. I can't stress that enough. And it's really so simple. Just love yourself. You know, if you ever need any type of guidance or any type of help, that's what I've created the UMP for. That's why we have the call number, the text number, the email. We have Facebook Messenger and plenty other people out there. Even if you don't want to call in here, you have people in your life, whether you know it or not, that truly love you. You know, they want to see the best for you. Figure out who those people are. You understand what I'm saying? So with that being said, that's pretty much it that I want to talk about. Just to love yourself. So if there's any thoughts or comments that anybody would like to share, please share them with us. Again, the UMP number is going to be 702-425-3319. The email address is theump@gmail.com. I want to thank everybody for listening in to episode 2, season 1, Love Yourself. I'm your host, Chris Matthews, and anything else that you would like to hear, please like, comment, subscribe, and share your thoughts with us. Again, like I said, we are live right now, so anybody who has came on to see the live, I appreciate all of your love that you're showing. Any comments? This is Monday's episode, and we will see you next time.